Welcome to another stage of building on SocialFlight's T-51D Mustang. You know, we've been spending a lot of time working on the electronics, the entire electrical system, getting ready for avionics, and doing everything possible to close out our fuselage so that we can finish the metalwork, get it polished up, and then get it out of our living room and move on to the next stages of our build. And one of the very important parts of this is putting in an ELT. And if you watched the video that I did of putting our Artex ELT 1000 in our Bonanza, you know that I'm a huge fan of Artex. I absolutely love their products. They're very easy to install. They just have a ton of benefits. Research it for yourself and you'll see why I'm a fan. Now, what we're going to do now is I'm putting this Artex ELT 345 into the Mustang, and I love this little unit. This little ELT is very powerful. It allows you a variety of options in terms of there's a couple different antennas that you can use, etc. It comes with pretty much everything that you need to do the install. But one of my favorite things about this ELT, in addition to the fact that it's small and it's light, is the battery. It's a lithium-ion battery that lasts 7 years. Now that's really important because these batteries aren't cheap on all the different ELTs that are out there. And most ELTs that have lithium batteries only go for 5 years. So having a 7-year life on your ELT battery is almost 50% longer. That's a big difference in your wallet. And it's also less of a pain in terms of having to go and change it out. And so it's so great to be able to go through annual after annual for 7 years and not have to worry about your ELT. So let's get to work. We're going to install it in the tail. We're going to do an antenna. The boys are going to help with that. Got a little trick up their sleeve in that regard. Do the wiring and get everything installed on our Titan T-51D Mustang. Okay, I'm here at the tail of the aircraft, and Jake has already gone and installed the tray. Now, Artex gives you a really strong, easy to use tray and all the hardware that you need in order to mount it. We've put it here on the same solid structure that we created a while ago that the other side of has the smoke system, that has the smoke tank. So this is really robust. And I can't stress enough how important it is that the structure that you're going to mount your ELT to in any aircraft is solid. I have seen ELTs put in with Velcro in aircraft, with all sorts of things that are just wrong, just not the way you need to put an ELT in. Remember, this specific piece of avionics is there to help you get rescued in the event of an accident. It needs to be structurally sound in a place that's going to survive any accident that you happen to be in. That's the whole purpose of it. And so it goes here, it's aligned with the center line of the aircraft, and Jake has actually gone and as I said, mounted this tray in. Now it comes with a strap that makes it easy to be able to go in and unstrap it if for some reason you need to get to it, and we can reach it through this other panel. So there is an access panel that allows you to actually get to it if you need to for maintenance or things like that. Now on the front of the ELT 345 that we have here, you have a switch. It's in the off position. It also has a position for test and a position for on. And then we have both the connector for the antenna, and we have this D-sub connector that we're going to wire up in order to have the cable that comes in. So let's first mount this up, and then I'll talk to you a little bit about how the wiring is actually done that's going to run forward to the control panel. So all I need to do in this case, since this has already been done, is get this part down, get it hooked into place here, and then the actual mechanism that's put in, boom, clicks it right into place. It's incredibly solid, and then we can move on to the wiring. All right, let's talk wiring for this Artex ELT. Now, as I mentioned before, it uses this D-sub connector that you do have to wire up yourself. I actually did this and don't have the camera footage showing actually the soldering that takes place, but it's very, very simple because there aren't many connections you actually have to make. Now, what you're basically doing is you're wiring in the switch, which are basically two wires that come from the control panel at the front. The switch gives you your on and your test features about that. The next thing that you're wiring is actually an RS-232 feed. That's a data line that sends your GPS position to this ELT. One of the really important things about these new modern ELTs is that they have the ability of tracking your GPS position and reporting that in the event of an emergency. So not only does the signal go out, but it tells rescuers exactly where you are. That comes, of course, from your avionics system, and we have the Approach Fast Stack, which we're going to show in another video. And one of the great things about that is that Fast Stack hub just has plugs that go into it and wires that come back, which allow you to connect your 232, which is what this white wire is right here. It's a shielded single conductor cable that comes in, connects to this D-sub, and sends the position information. Now, another thing that's in there, you can see hanging here, is this. This is actually, and this part also comes directly from Artex. This actually is the buzzer, the kind of piezo alert buzzer, which will go off and allow you to hear audibly that your ELT is going off. This is really helpful in the event you don't notice that LED light. You can hear the buzzing, you can hear that alert. It's pretty loud, and it lets you know your ELT is active. That we're again putting one wire in, very simple. And then the last thing that happens inside this D-sub connector here is a jumper. You jumper two pins together, and what that really does is it essentially activates the ELT, so that if this isn't plugged in, it won't just accidentally go off, but that once this is plugged in, you're activating essentially its G switch so that it knows that there's it's ready, and then it's all about being internal. Now you may wonder, is there power coming to it or anything else? The answer is no. ELTs are completely self-powered, and so it's there if everything else fails in order to rescue you. And so all we need to do at this point is plug this in. We'll get this plugged into place. I'm going to mount the buzzer as well next to it and ground it in the same location. And then the last thing we'll do is put the antenna on. For that, I'm going to turn this thing over to the boys.
Okay, so today Jake and I are going to be working on the ELT. There's a controller, ELT controller, that goes up in the front, and then we're going to work on the antenna right here in front of the vertical stabilizer.
So basically what Titan usually does is we have a aluminum fairing that's right in front of the vertical stabilizer here, but we talked to them and we got them to make us a fiberglass version of that, and that lets us have the ELT antenna inside the fairing, allows the radio waves to go through the fiberglass because it can't go through aluminum. And it not only helps with looks, but it'll also help us with speed and efficiency. Yep. Because some of those non-rigid antennas actually have a pretty big effect on the drag efficiency. So basically we're going to be mounting it right in front of the vertical stabilizer under this fairing, and we'll get that all mounted up, get the ELT wired to the controller and to the antenna, and then we'll be all set to move on to our next projects.
Yeah, let's do it.
It even has a little bit of room in there.
If you want, but no, you can't, because then it won't allow, then it won't match your other. All right, now it's time to install the control panel for our Artex ELT 345. Now the control panel, which I'll show you right here, is very straightforward, but it has three very important functions. First of all, it has a manual on switch. In the event that you need to call for help, if for some reason the ELT did not actually go off automatically and you need to activate it, there's a way to activate it immediately from the cockpit. In addition, there's a momentary test switch here, and that's important important in order to make sure that the ELT is working properly. Just make sure if you ever activate an ELT in test mode that you do it properly. There's a certain period of time you're supposed to do it so that you can ensure that it is done as a test and you are not accidentally calling for help and setting in motion rescuers that'll come to your aid when all you were doing is testing your ELT. That's really important. Then the last thing it has is an LED that lets you know when the ELT is active. That's very important, especially if you had a hard landing or something else. You want to make sure you didn't accidentally set off your ELT. So we are going to locate this now right in front of the pilot and right next to the control stick. And the boys earlier made this cover plate which it actually goes like this. It's a triangular piece that closes out everything around the front stick. And as you can see, I've gone and drawn this area to locate where the control panel is going to go here. It's a little bit, it looks like a window here. The reason for that is that I'm going to use a knockout punch from Greenlee. It's a 1" by 1" punch, which just happens to be the exact dimensions I need out of this rectangle. But since my punch is a square, and the hole that I need is a rectangle, I actually have to have 2 center points that I can punch one part, shift the punch to the second one, and then knock that out. Then we should be in really good shape after a little bit of cleanup to get it mounted and then move ahead with the rest of our ELT 345 installation on our Titan T-51D Mustang. Let's get to work. All right, thanks to using the punch, which is a huge time saver in being able to make a square hole in a sheet of aluminum, I now have the control panel mounted and can go put it into the aircraft. I do recommend these types of punches. They're not cheap, but you can find them used on eBay and in other places. They last a lifetime, and when you're done, you can sell them in exactly the same way. And they really are such a time saver, especially when you're dealing with square holes instead of having to drill in each of the corners and then file it out, etc. You still need to do some cleanup to make sure there aren't any stress risers, but it really saves a ton of time. Let's put it in. All right, the last step is to test the system. Now, it's very important, according to FAA regulations, you should only be testing an ELT in the first 5 minutes after the top of the hour, and do a brief test there. That makes sure that they understand that this would be a test and it doesn't start the process of rescue, as I mentioned earlier. So let's do a quick test, because it is the right time, and see if everything's working with the wiring on our Artex ELT 345. All right, with everything installed and working, that is the conclusion of another phase of our Titan T-51D Mustang build. Until next time, be sure to check out SocialFlight.com and the free SocialFlight mobile apps for Apple and Android devices. There are tens of thousands of aviation events and destinations, $100 hamburgers, airport restaurants, so many cool things to do. Be sure to check it out. It's all in SocialFlight. It's all free, and it's just here to support general aviation. And in addition to that, we always have prizes in our Fly to Win challenge. All you need to do is get the app, go out there, fly, and check in at any airport even once during the prize period has you entered to win, and we have so many great prizes that we give away on a regular basis. Until next time, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe, and I wish you all blue skies.
So we're doing the ELT install today.
Stop.
And
Okay.
what?
Stop.
What do you mean stop?
I'm gonna say it.
Okay, so today we're gonna be doing the ELT install.
Just look at the camera.
Just smile and look good and don't say anything. It's going there. It's going there, and it's going under the fiberglass because we can't put under metal because of science.